everyone. My name is Nikisha Bailey, owner of Win-Win Coffee Bar, Philadelphia's first Black women-led coffee roaster, distributor, and co-roasting training facility. Throughout all things that I've done in my life, representation has been very important to me. If you can see it, you can achieve it. No matter if I was working in the music industry or the nonprofit sector, seeing an example of yourself showed others that their dreams and goals were also attainable. It was a lifelong goal of mine to own a coffee business and not only be a representation of that industry, but my community as a whole. Philadelphia is one of the blackest cities in America, yet only 2.5% of those businesses in the city are Black owned, so I set out on a mission to change that narrative and shift the coffee industry back to Black. We launched Win-Win in 2019 and quickly had to pivot our traditional brick and mortar operations in 2020 when the pandemic hit. Because of this, we launched our own retail roast, the Win-Win Blend, and we were able to sell thousands of bags in a very short time frame. Through this exercise, it showed us how profitable the coffee industry was. Coffee is a $200+ billion industry, yet only 10% of that goes back into the Black and brown communities that it comes from. There are over 2,000 coffee brands and roasters in the United States, but less than 2% of those are women and minority owned. We also learned a lot about our target market. 44% of millennials consume coffee, with the average millennial spending $3,000 a year on their coffee needs. We also know that across the board, millennials look at social good and their own actions or contribution to the community is very important to them. 86% of all millennials believe that the everyday do-gooder who intentionally spends money to have a positive impact in their community is important to them. So whether you're an active coffee drinker or not, knowing that you are directly impacting your community is a selling point to the vast majority of our target market. As we continue to expand our retail and wholesale outlets, we are projected to create 20 jobs within the next year with a 10-year projection of hiring over 400 people. Also, as we continue to scale our business, we are projected to hit the 1 million mark next year, and we have a 10-year projection of generating $52 million annually. We are seeking an investment of $500K, which will go toward building out our roaster and supply chain, employee pay, and overall marketing and branding needs. We've had the privilege of having lots of great partnerships. One that's most impactful for me is ours with PowerCore, which is a local Philadelphia nonprofit that provides job training for minority youth, which we've been able to hire from the program. We've also been accepted into Aramark's Diverse Supplier Program, and with our MBE certification, this will unlock new brand partnerships for us. A little bit about myself. I have a decade experience in branding, marketing, operations via the music industry. I'm also trained via the Specialty Coffee Association, so I can train and certify other coffee professionals. My business partner, Matthew Namaste, has a history of scaling large companies, also in sustainability and community engagement. Together, we not only want to serve you a great cup of coffee, but we want to provide a positive impact on our community by hiring in Philadelphia and bringing the coffee supply chain back to Black.
Thank you, Nikisha.
I like that. I'm trying to figure out, how are you marketing your business right now? Is it strictly online?
It's online. We do have a brick and mortar.
Where are you located?
We're on Spring Garden Street.
What 100? I hate to get so specific.
So 931 Spring Garden Street.
Okay, all right. I know exactly where you are now. Okay, nice. All right. And so you transitioned, you were brick and mortar, and then you went to the online because of
still
COVID?
Brick and mortar. We're open a few days a week, but once we weren't able to have people in our space, we transitioned to having our own retail blend and selling that online to keep the doors open and to keep our marketing and branding going.
And so the relationships that you've built with Power Corp and some of those other folks, how have you been able to, have you used that as a part of your platform to hire and to expand into other brands of coffee?
So we work closely with PowerCore. They are located right across the street from us, so the team would always come in for meetings, and we began hiring and training from their program. We have hired directly from their program, and we will continue to work with them. We also work with Sunday Breakfast and Mural Arts, which are other local nonprofits. And so as we continue to scale, we do plan to use those organizations to build our company.
You're very social enterprise, enterprise focused, which I think is rare for your industry, which is really powerful.
Yeah. Do you sell like pastries and things like that in your store, or is it just the coffee?
So prior to the pandemic, we were a full-fledged cafe.
Okay.
But we only do coffee services now.
Okay.
I'm really curious about how big you see yourself going. I mean, you've mentioned that you have some major partners there, but what is your strategy for not full strategy? But what are your thoughts about scale, and how you plan to be in multiple stores, or do you? Like, what is your scale? What are you thinking about for scale?
We definitely want to be in the retail market. We are talking to ShopRite about launching into their stores next year, but we also know that like funding the training side can come from our MBE certification and dealing directly with those larger contracts. So I not only see us as a retail provider, but I also see us providing coffee to your hotels, your corporations, those big businesses that really buy a lot of coffee. Also love a good pop-up. So we've done pop-ups before, just in terms of like marketing to new markets and new people. So we'll definitely continue that pop-up model as well.
So how are you affected by bringing in your grounds, like, sourcing your raw materials to be able to produce your coffee? How has that been affected, or has it been affected by supply chain issues that we're currently facing?
It has not been affected. We had enough foresight to order a bunch of raw coffee, before the supply chain really got messed up. And so we ordered about 200 bags of raw coffee. Each bag is 132 pounds of coffee. And so that set us up while we wait for our next roast, which is launching in Q4.
Thank you so much, Nikisha.
Thank you, guys. Have a great day.
Peace.
To vote, visit Razorfy.co and select today's event. Enter your donation for the pitches you love and click the donate button to proceed to checkout. Review and confirm your donation once more by tapping donate. And finally, key in your payment info to cast your vote. Voting will be open for 7 days. And remember, there is a $5 minimum for your vote to count. Your donation keeps a Black or brown woman in business. You are changing the world with Black Girl Ventures.